the craziest corrupt cop stories you'll ever hear.
Yeah, so we obtained more than a dozen videos shown to a grand jury looking into the sergeant and the officers that he worked with who arrested people mostly in and around casinos on the Strip. In May, Menon was placed on leave after Metro says that he ordered those arrests without probable cause. In every case shown to the grand jury, the person detained was a black man or a man of color.
Now, you think that's crazy? When the department asked the sergeant to return the department's laptop, they found this on it.
That's after his electronic devices like his laptops were taken away. For his second case, police say they found numerous images of child material.
This cop was so insane, he even put cameras in the bathrooms.
In his most recent case, Metro Police say Menon installed cameras in his private bathroom to watch both women use the restroom.
And the only way all this was uncovered is that the cops that he was supervising gathered the evidence, reported it to Internal Affairs, and got his behind thrown in jail.
Tonight, we learned from the president of the police union it was Sergeant Kevin Menon's entire team who came forward to them to report the wrongdoing. The team was charged with keeping the Strip safe through proactive police work, but instead Menon is accused of targeting and arresting people who did nothing wrong.
Let's talk about it. This is Kevin Menon, 43-year-old biracial Indian and Dutch, former Las Vegas Metro Sergeant. Now, Menon was a supervisor on something known as the Flex Team. It's an anti-crime unit that's deployed to areas with higher incidents of crime.
Metro Sergeant Kevin Menon is accused of doing just that while working at the Convention Center Area Command. He was in charge of the Flex Squad, a team of uniformed and plainclothes officers who proactively hunt for crime.
As a member of this special squad, numbers matter. You have to get more arrests and show that you're actively looking for crime. To keep those arrest numbers high, Kevin Menon started making false arrests. Now, this is the way they decided to make these false arrests. First, Sergeant Kevin Menon would go undercover. Then he would have uniformed police officers following him. Now, if he saw someone he wanted police to search, he would then walk up to them and interact with them in some way. Then during that interaction, he'd pull out something illegal, let's say some fake currency. Police who are working with Sergeant Menon would then arrest Menon, and because Menon was talking to these other people, the police would then search them too.
What appears to play out here, the sergeant approaching two men and starting a conversation. Fellow officers immediately swoop in and take him away and then approach the two men.
Hey, do you guys know him? You don't know him?
He just walked up on it.
The uniformed officers then detain the men and search their personal belongings.
Now, this search of these other people that Menon were talking to is 1,000% illegal. Why? Well, because you have to have probable cause to make an arrest here in the United States. And in this situation, police absolutely don't have probable cause. Probable cause means that a crime has been committed and you know that this person has likely committed this crime. But in this situation, we absolutely know police know no crime has been committed because they set up this situation. Matter of fact, he texted it to everybody.
Text message exchange presented to the grand jury. One officer writing, quote, hunting PC still. And Menon wrote, shoulder check someone and smash. Come arrest me in a sec. Soon as I make contact with them. Then detain and identify them. Just explain that the guy was detained, me was committing fraud with fake money, and due to my interaction with them, they are being contacted. Simple.
Here's another example of a false arrest, caught again on camera.
May 3rd, a man named Marquise was walking down this pedestrian bridge between Caesars and Bellagio. Surveillance video appears to show Sergeant Menon intentionally bumping into Marquise. When officers detain him, Marquise tells them he's being set up. This surveillance video from the Bellagio, a man who appears to be Sergeant Menon bumps into Marquise.
You didn't see him bump into me? I'm on your back. I ain't doing that.
These are Metro officers Justin Candelisas and Stephen Casaro putting Marquise in handcuffs.
Why are you open carrying a knife in the strip, bro? Oh, I didn't know.
In this body cam video, you can hear Marquise telling the officer several times, quote, it's not like that.
He bumped into me and then you guys were right behind me, literally.
I didn't see
like it was a setup.
That's exactly what it was. It was a setup. Now, Menon was the supervisor directing the other officers to do these things. Those officers started writing reports and saying, this isn't right. So the officers of the squad started quietly bookmarking their own body cam footage. They also started taking screenshots of the Signal group chat. Now, after officers saved all their receipts, they contacted Internal Affairs, who started an investigation.
It was Menon's own team who reported him.
It was the entire squad. We met all of them at the substation. Once they all got together collectively and talking about things that they had concern with and finding out it wasn't isolated to themselves and that they had someone else going through the same thoughts and concerns, that's when they said, hey, we need to call the union. You know, luckily we have some tenured folks. I've got 26 years on here, and you know, we started to guide them properly. So it was a tough thing for those young officers to do, to put themselves in that position. But you know, a lot of respect to them for the courage they had to bring it forward.
And the president of the union said that he told Menon's team that they would be thrust into the spotlight by reporting him. They said that they had to stand up and do what is right.
Now, Internal Affairs then looked at all the evidence provided by the other officers and decided it was time to arrest Menon.
Metro Police arresting one of their sergeants, Sergeant Kevin Menon, facing numerous charges, including oppression under color of office with force. Our 8 News Now investigators learning this allegedly involves arrests on the Strip. Now, the sergeant has been employed with Metro Police since 2014. He is now on paid leave.
Then the story gets crazy. See, as part of the arrest, police issued search warrants for his home and devices. When police looked at those electronic devices, they found some interesting stuff.
On Wednesday, prosecutors filed 2 new counts of possession of visual pornography of a person under the age of 16, after Metro Police say they found images of prepubescent girls on Menon's laptop. In this arrest report obtained by the 8 News Now investigators, detectives say Menon used search terms like teen P and another with the word. The 8 News Now investigators outside Menon's North Las Vegas home as police were back with another search warrant. His wife in tears, waiting and then leaving with their dog.
So Menon, the worst cop on the planet, was indicted as, but we got one more indictment that I haven't told you about. And this one is just as insane.
In this 3rd criminal case, prosecutors say he installed cameras in his private bathroom to watch his wife and sister-in-law use the toilet.
The thing that we discovered was that one of the things that Kevin Menon has a fetish for is pornography involving peeing and urination.
Prosecutor Chris Hamner says this is Kevin Menon installing cameras in his home bathroom.
You'd be able to see the toilet, and then 2 days later, Kevin Menon installs a second hidden camera and a second vent inside that same bathroom.
He describes 96 recordings, prompting a grand jury to indict Menon on 28 counts of capturing an image of the private area of another person.
These women have no clue that they are being recorded.
Hamner says Menon is caught on camera installing the videos here in September.
Did you install cameras in your private bathroom to watch your family members go to the bathroom?
I don't have a comment on that, ma'am.
I saw the video myself of you installing the cameras.
The evidence in this case, which prosecutors again describe as video clips of the victims using the bathroom, is sealed.
So we got 3 separate cases, and Menon's looking at decades in prison with video evidence, text messages, everything he needed to convict him. He decided to plead guilty to everything.
Well, turning now to breaking news. Suspended Las Vegas Metro Police Sergeant Kevin Menon has agreed to a plea deal with prosecutors in all 3 of his high-profile cases. This, according to Robert Draskovich, one of the attorneys representing Menon. He was facing oppression charges related to an incident on the Las Vegas Strip, charges related to possessing child sex abuse material, and charges related to cameras being placed in a bathroom at his own home. Menon will plead guilty to 7 counts, 5 felonies, and 2 gross misdemeanors. As part of the deal, he agreed to serve 4 to 10 years in prison. He was released today on house arrest ahead of his sentencing on August 4th.
So at the end of the day, Menon got 4 to 10 years in prison. Here's the judge giving him those 4 to 10.
You're on video doing things that clearly are, to be kind, inappropriate, and illegal.
I take responsibility for these allegations. For any harm I've done, I beg for forgiveness.
Disgraced Las Vegas Metro Police Sergeant Kevin Menon breaks his silence moments before being taken away in handcuffs Monday.
Assured that he has pled to every single type of crime he committed in all 3 of his cases, and he's stipulated to prison time. He is becoming a registered sex offender, which he'll never be able to shed. He'll wear that label for the rest of his life.
Now, you'd think that's the end of the story. But Menon's wife says that he's the victim of the police department and that actually she's not a victim of his, she's a victim of the police department's racism against Menon.
After his 3rd arrest, I learned from the news that the LVMPD came into my home, reviewed private camera footage. They decided that they could create criminal charges from it. I am not a victim of my husband. I am a victim of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. Their divisive tactics used to influence the public so that innocence until proven guilty is nearly impossible.
She told the judge her husband did not commit the crimes he's accused of, saying he pled guilty in order to hopefully preserve some semblance of a future.
He deserves so much better. But when you're being lynched, you must do whatever it takes to loosen the noose.
Now, as Menon's black wife says that he's being persecuted for being a person of color, she fails to notice that the only people that he was arresting illegally happen to be black people.
The incidents in April and May as Menon led a specialized group on the Las Vegas Strip.
What am I going to do?
You can see and hear the shock.
I do this to white people. Yeah. I do to everybody, bro.
The majority of individuals identified in the criminal case against Menon are black men.
Now, it's important to note that Menon would still be out there doing this if the other cops, the white and black cops who he was supervisor, didn't report him. They reported him. They said this is wrong. They are the ones that made it so Menon could be taken off the streets and arrested. So those cops who are working in Las Vegas need a big round of applause because their supervisor was doing this and they went and reported him, and now this has stopped. All right, so let me know how you feel about this one in the comment section. Do you think 4 to 10 is an appropriate sentence? I would have been happier with a 10 to 15 where he serves at least 10 years because this is kind of crazy. But hey, 4 to 10, he's doing some hard time. And the registered offenders list, that is going to hurt you for a while.